We'll get our first look today at the entry list for the two big weekends coming up at Knoxville, plus talk high limit at Kokomo, Outlaws at Boone, and much more. Let's go. It's Tuesday, August 1st. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. Over the weekend, I sent a new edition of the Slider email newsletter that featured an interview with World of Outlaws driver Robbie Price. If you missed it, it's over on the website at dirttracker.com/theslider. You can also sign up there for free to get those emails. Got another issue queued up for tomorrow. This one's talking some regional late model stuff and purse money. So get in now to have that to read tomorrow. And if you are a content creator that would like to contribute to a future edition of the Slider, drop me an email or DM on social media. I am hoping to have veteran reporter Matt Weaver back in the mix next week covering the Knoxville Nationals, just like he did during the Eldora Million and Kings Royal. So if you want to get on that as well, get signed up and you'll have all of the stuff hopefully that he will do next week. Speaking of Knoxville, I did want to take a look today at the entry list for both the 360 and 410 Nationals. The 360 Nationals start this Thursday. The Capitani Classic is then Sunday, and then 62nd Knoxville Nationals start next Wednesday night, August 9th. As of this morning from the Knoxville website, we have 107 cars on the pre-entry list for the 360 Nationals and 101 or 102 for the 410 Nationals. Looking first at the 360 list, I'm going to go out on a pretty reckless limb here and say this might be the toughest 360 Nationals field we have ever seen. Aaron Reitzel is back to defend his title from a year ago, but this thing will not be easy. Guys bolting 360s into their cars this week include Chris Wyndham, Ryan Timms, Chase Randall, Sam Haverteep, Justin Peck, Rico Abreu, Justin Sanders, Kerry Madsen, Hunter Schoenberg, Zeb Wise, Brady Bacon, Anthony Macri, and Darren Pittman. And that doesn't include some, of the more usual 360 guys, Matt Covington, Tanner Carrot coming from California, JJ Hickle, Blake Hahn, Shane Golubic, Colby Copeland, Ayrton Jeniton, the McCarls. There's a lot of names on this entry list. This is like a national 410 show, but with 360 racing. I think it's going to be an insanely difficult week to just make the main event come Saturday night. I think Rico is an interesting one here as he's been a regular at Peevely for the Ironman 55 with the Outlaws in years past on this weekend, including winning that event. But it's clear him and Ricky Warner are very much focused on Knoxville this season, and I think a lot of other guys are as well. This thing's been bumped up to $20,000 to win, plus you're going to get extra kind of, pretty valuable laps around Knoxville, even if it's with engines that are a little bit down on power. Looking at the 410 list, no real surprises or anything here. All the Outlaw guys obviously are on it. The usual 410 suspects, Peck, PPM, Rico, Elias, and Macri, Buddy Kofoid. We've got Pittman, Shane Stewart, Kyle Larson is obviously on the list, Corey Days in the 14. All the Knoxville regulars, and then lots of others in 410 competition. I think it's possible we could add a car or two to this list before next week, but we could also lose a car or two. So we'll probably hover right around that 100 number when things get going next week. I think especially if guys have issues this weekend ahead of the Nationals, if they're running the 360 Nationals, they're at the Cappy, they're at Peevely. If you guys have engine issues or, hurt a car or something like that, we could lose some. If you want to look at the full list for yourself, you can find them over at KnoxvilleRaceway.com. They're also on the Knoxville social media channels. If you want some 410 sprint car racing tonight, the High Limit Series is headed for Kokomo. This race was originally supposed to happen back in May, but it was rained out and pushed to this week. The pre-entry list that was dropped yesterday shows 29 cars. We do know, though, that Robert Ballou isn't coming. He was on the list. That drops us to 28. But Bernie said add Shane Stewart, so that takes us back to 29. This will be the first appearance for Corey Day in the 7BC as part of that plan to have subs for the injured Tyler Courtney. He's been running, his own 14 car, the Jason Myers 14 car. He's going to jump in the 7BC tonight. Anthony Macri, who's been running the 7BC and All-Star competition, he moves over to the Indy Race Part 71. We'll also get Emerson Axum with the wing on. We'll get Logan Seavey. He's listed in the 24S. Kevin Thomas Jr. is in a car for Kevin Newton. And then the rest of the regulars that we've seen with the series, Larson, Rico, Elias, and PPM Peck. Justin Sanders will be there in the 39M. We'll have Jake Swanson in the Alex Bowman 55. With 3 wins in 6 races, Larson is the points leader by 44 right now over Rico. They are 2 of just 5 cars that have run every high limit feature so far. That short list also includes Eliason, Brent Marks, and Chase Randall. But Mark's streak will come to an end tonight. He tweeted back on July 23rd that they would be taking time off until the Cappy at Knoxville, and he isn't on the entry list released by the series for Kokomo. Tonight is again 23,000 to win, 1,500 to start. I think looking at some possible winners for tonight, Larson, obviously your P1 when it comes to favorites. Zeb Wise, though, was an all-star winner at Kokomo in 2021. Rico and Peck have run well there before, also with the wing on. You can watch the stream tonight live on Flow Racing, or if you want to get your ass to Kokomo, you can get seats on the Ticket Haas app. In Iowa tonight, the World of Outlaws late models are right back at it at Boone Speedway. I completely glossed over this one yesterday on the show. We were talking about Fairbury. I was like, we're going to go to Fairbury and then go to Cedar Lake, but completely forgot that Boone was here in the middle. Tonight is 15,000 to win before teams head to Cedar Lake this weekend for the USA Nationals. Jonathan Davenport won this race a year ago. He is not expected to compete tonight. Other recent Boone feature winners include Bobby Pierce, Cade Dillard, and Shannon Babb. Pierce maintains the championship lead after running second to Ricky Thornton Jr. this past weekend at Fairbury. RTJ could very possibly continue his hot streak. He is expected to race today. Ryan Gust and Brandon Shepard will continue to try and close down the gap on Pierce in the standings. Well, I think Nick Hoffman and Chris Madden could use good runs tonight. They haven't really been as fast as they were earlier in the year. I'd like to see those guys kind of get rolling again here. After tonight, the series will have Wednesday off to travel, and then action gets going at Cedar Lake on Thursday. Up in Canada on Monday, Eric Rudolph was the beneficiary of a late mistake for leader Francois Bernier, and he drove on to the Super Dirt Car Series win at Autodrome Drummond. Bernier was driving away with this thing, but got over the track in turn one with just 2 laps to go and ended up 17th. Chris Raby was second at the line behind Eric Rudolph, but he was later DQ'd for being light at the scales. That promoted David Hebert to second and Steve Bernier to third. They'll do it all over again tonight at Drummond before moving to Brockville on Wednesday. Also in action tonight, if you want some more modified action, Short Track Super Series, they've got a special non-point show at the Quarter Mile Action Track USA in Pennsylvania. With a lot of the heavy hitters in Canada with the Super Dirt Car Series, things should be wide open tonight on the tight confines at Kutztown. The next points show for the Short Track Super Series is next Tuesday night at New Egypt. With the iRacing World of Outlaws late models on Monday night, it was more of the same from the dominant teammates that we've seen so far this year. We had some other guys lead laps, Kendall Tucker, Logan Rumsey. But at the end, it was Evan Seay beating his teammate Blake Majulis to the win. Through 4 races right now, they each have 2 victories apiece, with Seay holding an 8-point lead in the championship. Dylan Wilson ended up third last night. I kind of felt like he killed the really awesome racing we had inside the final 10 laps. I know he was going for position. Certainly can't blame him for that. You know, there were a ton of sliders among the top 3 late, but kind of a sketchy one from Wilson on Logan Rumsey really broke the momentum of everybody out back, and Seay was able to get away in the end. Next Monday night, the series has Knoxville coming up. You can watch these races live on Dervision and YouTube. You can also catch them on demand for free as well. That's it for today's daily. The streaming schedule for today, pretty solid for a Tuesday. I count 9 shows on it, so make sure to hit it up over at dirttracker.com/watch tonight. You can see what your options are. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.